The focus of this video is the Eastern Cape 2016 question paper, and I'm going to focus specifically on question 2.2.1, where we have to calculate the correct bank account balance in the general ledger on 31 July 2016, as well as question 2.2.2, where we have to prepare a bank reconciliation statement on 31 July 2016. So if we look at our information, it is given in point A that we have a favorable balance as per the bank account on 31 July 2016. That was 11,743 Rand before receipt of the bank statement from Money Bank. So in other words, this is the amount that we have to use as our starting balance for the calculation of the correct bank account, and then we will have to compare the bank statement to our books to add or subtract amounts to that 11,743. So it's a favorable balance of 11,743, and this is actually incidentally given to you in your answer sheet. So it is 11,743. That is our starting point. The balance as per bank statement on 31 July 2016, we don't know. So it will probably be the balancing amount in our bank reconciliation statement. Because remember, our bank reconciliation statement starts with the balance as per the bank statement. So in our bank reconciliation statement on 31 July, we have balance according to bank statement, which we don't know at this stage, and well, it could either be a debit or a credit, but I suspect it's going to be the balancing figure. So let's continue working systematically through the information that's given us. Point B, we have items on the July bank statement but not shown in the cash journals. So we only know about these once we receive the bank statement. So in a sense, the bank statement is our source document. So we will have to go and update our records. So service fees are 45 Rand. Now we know service fees we will now have to go and record in our cash payments journal, which will reduce our bank account's balance of 11,743 by the 45 Rand. So in calculating our bank account balance, we have to subtract 45 Rand here. Cash deposit fees, again, that's bank charges. We will have to record on our side. We will have to reduce our bank account as we are recording it now in the cash payments journal, and the amount is 132 Rand. Interest income. So we are now only aware of the income that are due to us. It will increase our bank balance as we record it in the CRJ. So we will have to add another 23 Rand. The debit order payment for insurance to X insurers, this amount appeared twice on the statement in error. So this is going to affect our bank account because we now still have to subtract it from our bank account. Plus, due to the fact that it appears twice on the statement, we will have to go and fix it on our equivalent of the statement, namely the bank recon. So let's first focus on the bank account. It's a payment, so it will reduce once we record it in our cash payments journal, our bank account. So we have to subtract the 325. But now we also indicated it will affect the bank recon. So we should know that basically on the bank side, they do the opposite that we are doing in terms of debits and credits. So if we record it in the cash payments journal, it means our asset bank will decrease on the credit side. So therefore, the bank would have had to make the entry on the debit side. But now they did it twice on the debit side. So to cancel out one of those debits, we will have to credit on the bank reconciliation statement. So we will have to credit on the bank reconciliation statement. So credit, debit order incorrectly recorded, incorrectly debited twice. And that amount is the 325 Rand. A dishonor check from the debtor, why not 475 Rand? So we are only aware that this payment didn't go through the bank once we received the bank statement. So initially we would have recorded when we received the money from the debtor in our CRJ. Now we will have to reverse it in our CPJ. So the effect will be that our bank is going to decrease by the 475 Rand. So we will have to subtract 475 Rand. Commission income from Lovely Pastries, 522. So we are only aware that we receive this once we receive our bank statement. It's an income, so the money in our bank should increase by 522. So let's systematically move on to point C. Check number 1226 issued on 24 July 2016 to Nosy Tom for delivery appeared as 576 Rand on the statement. The journal had the incorrect amount of 765. So we made an error on our side. The statement is correct. So our amount was too high. It's a check, so it would appear in our cash payments journal. So we have a too high amount in the cash payments journal. So the amount that was too high, the difference between 765 and 576, we will have to record on the opposite of the cash payments journal, namely the cash receipts journal. So therefore, the money in our bank will now increase. So we will have to add the difference between 765 and 576. So we have to add the difference between 576 and 765. So moving on to D, checks number 1287 and number 1299 for 675 and 2010 respectively, issued during July 2016, were not on the bank statement. So therefore we will have to go and add it on our equivalent of the bank statement, namely the bank recon. So these are still outstanding checks, which we know we need to debit. So we will have to debit outstanding checks and we have the numbers. So just going to move this up one. Okay, so debit outstanding checks. So we have the numbers. The one is 1287. The other one is 1299. We have to debit by 675 and 2010. Okay, so moving on to number E, the deposit on 28 July 2016 for 4410 was not on the bank statement. So therefore we will have to add it on our equivalent of the bank statement, which is the bank recon statement. And we know we credit outstanding deposits. Just going to insert a line here. So we have to credit outstanding deposits and the amount is 4,410. So we know the balancing amount in practice usually is the balance according to our bank account in our general ledger. Well, we had to calculate it in 2.2.1. We know it's a favorable balance. Favorable means it has a debit balance, as assets have debit balances, and bank is an asset, it's our possession. So therefore we have a debit balance as per bank account. Of 11,500. So this is from C2.2.1. That's good exam writing strategy. And we have basically now everything. We know the balancing figure we expected all along would be the balance according to the bank statement. Now we just need to see if we have a debit or a credit. Well, it seems the debit side is more, so let's add up all the debits. So we have the 675. We have to add the 2010. We have to add the 11,500. So we have 14,185 as the bigger amount. So the difference between 14,185 4410 and 325 will therefore be the balance according to the bank statement on the credit side. So it's 14185 minus 4410 minus 325 give us 9450 rand.